Well, about to get ready for somebody to end up in a plane crash of some sort or got T-boned at an intersection. Perpetual motion machine raises $12 million from investors. That's like saying you got a car that runs on water, but let's check it out.
A company called Casimir Inc. claims they have a microchip that harvests energy from the quantum vacuum using the Casimir effect. They just raised $12 million to commercialize it. Their website literally calls it the world's first unlimited power supply, and their founder says millions of devices will operate for years without a battery ever needing to be replaced or recharged. Well, wow.
Right there. That's how they got you. You're going to take a lot of money out of the oil company's pockets, and let's just say you'll get Hillary Clinton for that.
Wow. Let's have a look. The announcement comes from Harold White, a former NASA scientist who has previously claimed he can build a propulsion device that extracts energy from the vacuum and wants to build a warp drive that works with energy from the vacuum. Here is the recent announcement in his own words.
So we have engineered a nanoscale structure that interacts with the quantum vacuum in such a way that it harvests continuous energy.
I listened to his talk.
Continuous energy from what, though? Like, you gotta harvest it from somewhere because you can't create it and you can't destroy it, so it's gotta come from somewhere.
And looked at the website, and here is how I understand the new device. It works with the Casimir effect, which is real and genuinely interesting physics. If you place two uncharged metal plates close together in a vacuum, they'll attract each other. The reason is that the presence of the plates themselves changes the structure of the vacuum, which effectively creates an underpressure between the plates, resulting in an effective attractive force. The effect is real and its existence has been confirmed in the laboratory. White now says, okay, look, if these plates are...
The way she says laboratory instead of laboratory reminds me of back whenever I was a kid, there was this show called Dexter's Laboratory, and that's I think that's the way he said it, laboratory.
attract each other, there's energy being generated from that. The only problem is that it's a one-off energy release, and he wants to make that continuous. He says there'll be electrons tunneling into the gap between the plates, and because of the vacuum difference, they're more likely to go in the space between the plates than out. So what you do is put something in the middle to siphon off the electrons, which will create a current. White claims that his team indeed measured a current. He informed a website called Debrief that across these tests we observed device outputs ranging from millivolts to volts at picoamp current levels, well above our instrumentation's noise floor. The company's...
Yeah, I mean, if this is real, we're never going to see it. This will get bought and buried. It's never going to see the light of day.
Press materials cite a paper by White published in Physical Review Research in March, which they describe as providing the theoretical foundation for why engineered Casimir cavities produce usable electrical energy. What are we to make of this? First, we talked about the paper when it came out. It's got nothing to do with the Casimir effect or extracting energy from the vacuum. They probably just mentioned this to impress people who didn't read it. More importantly, the Casimir effect simply can't produce continuous energy.
Which is why I said a minute ago, where are they getting this energy from? Because you can't create it nor destroy it, so it's got to come from somewhere.
It's already wrong to claim that the standard Casimir effect generates energy from the attraction of the plates, because you had to put in the energy to bring the plates into place, and the space between the plates is vacuum. It's the ground state. It's the state of lowest possible energy. If an electron tunnels into that place voluntarily with some probability, it'll not voluntarily leave that place. Hence, no currents. But they say they measure something. Yes, but look at the numbers. Millivolts to volts sounds impressive, but the current is picoamps. Pico is 10 to the minus 12. If you calculate the power, that makes optimistically 10 picowatts.
I don't know what the picowatts are, but if you can have like lots of volts and millivolts, like you can hook leads into the ground itself and get like some kind of millivolts or volts or whatever. But if it doesn't have any amps to go with those volts, you're not producing enough power. They're just, you got to have the amps.
Their commercial target is 37 microwatts, so they'd have to stack a million or billion of these things together to get a microwatt. Still, you might say, hey, a picowatt is a picowatt. True, but technically, you can extract energy from any tiny deviation from equilibrium. That's everything from tiny temperature differences to humidity gradients or salinity gradients in water or material boundary layers and so on. It's nothing to do with vacuum energy. It's to do with the fact that there is real energy all around us in teeny tiny amounts. And femtowatts to picowatts is exactly the regime where contact potential differences between dissimilar materials.
Right. I wouldn't have invested in this because, you know, it sounds good if you don't know anything about it, but it's the basics of energy, like the very minimum basics is can't create nor destroy. It's got to come from somewhere. So that would be my first question for if I was an investor, like where's the energy coming from? It's got to. You just like can't make it out of nothing.
Materials, thermoelectric effects from tiny temperature gradients.
If they told me that they were like harvesting it out of the air itself, would have been better than in a vacuum between two plates. Just saying.
And instrumental offsets live. These are known effects that can produce more power than this. The thing is then that you can't scale up these energy gains because while you can extract a picowatt from a gradient at room temperature, you can't extract a kilowatt from it. The energy simply isn't there. It's a solid 10 out of 10 on the bullshit meter. The Casimir effect is genuinely interesting, though the interesting part isn't the force or the pressure, it's that it actually gives you a negative energy, which physicists will tell you doesn't exist. What this means, or what, if anything, we can do with it, is an open question. So I'm all for people.
I've never heard of negative energy. I don't see how it would give you a negative energy, but if it is a negative energy, anything that flows can create a current. So if you can make it flow, you can make it produce something on the other end, regardless. But I don't know.
For studying the Casimir effect, but it isn't going to build your perpetual motion machine. The lead investor into the product said, this is based on 100 years of science and we're finally approaching a commercial product. He's right about the first part. It's based on 100 years of science, but that science says you can't do this.
That's 100 years of science research. That's not 100 years of completed, proven science. Otherwise, we would have it already, right?
Hi guys, this is what I look like without makeup, and this video does not have a sponsor, which means that I paid to bring it to you. If you enjoy my science news, please consider supporting me either on Patreon or right here on YouTube. If you already support me, thank you so very much. Without you, this channel...
She's got some wild looking eyes. I want to make this full screen for 2 seconds. Oh, she's at the end. She's literally just basically promoting herself at the end of the video. But look at these eyes, like the way they like shoot out. Look like I don't know. It looks pretty neat the way they like star out. Thought that was pretty neat. But anyways, yeah, y'all go check her out, Sabine Hossenfelder. She's promoting herself.
Possible.
I gotta respect the hustle because she obviously isn't trying to put a bunch of crazy sponsored stuff on there because she's not sponsored. But I mean, if she was, she's still doing it for herself. Anyways, I'm not sponsored either, so if you wouldn't mind subscribing and commenting and tell me what you think, and we'll see y'all in the next video.